I started my journey in 2008. I started from Gorkha Brewery. So I joined as a brand executive beginning में, but after 1 year I changed into trade marketing. So it was a good experience, I would say, because एउटा साइडमा मलाई ब्रान्डको लागि ग्रुम गरेको थियो भने अर्को साइडमा BTL aspect of marketingको लागि पनि ग्रुम गरिरहेको थियो हैन, brand in terms of strategy and BTL in terms of trade marketing. I stayed there for 3 years. I still say it is one of the best schools to move out from because they give you the fundamentals. You learn the fundamentals, and till date I'm using a lot of fundamentals that I learned over there. Then I moved to Bajaj as marketing manager, and that's probably the longest inning of my career, 10 year plus, and that was where I got the platform to evolve, I would say, because the trust, the backing, and whatever I had learned, I could put it into practice despite being in different industries. For marketers, I think the principle remains the same, and those fundamentals gave me the background and the base to go forward. I got the platform with Bajaj to do things differently, to think out of the box. And after 10 plus years, almost 11 years, I moved to CG as a corporate marketing head in capacity of Group CMO. And after a year, I'm with MAW now, again as CMO. See, how you define brand is very person specific. So I really like the idea of you saying my personal definition of brand. I see brand as an individual. I see brand as a person. Like you and I, we have distinct personalities. We all have distinct personalities, and we are identified by a name. Brand is almost like that. It has its own personality, it's identified by a name, but having said it, it's not that simple also. As individuals, we are not simple. We have our own complexities, our own thought process, our own characters, attributes, because of which some people like us, some people don't accept us, right? That's the same with the brands as well. They are as complex because they might not have a mind of their own, but they have their features, attributes, their pros and cons, because of which they are accepted by some and rejected by some, So for me, the simplest thought process when I think of a brand is a person, an individual, himself is a brand, and that's how the brands are supposed to be perceived for me. Yes. Out loud, if I say, I've done a lot of out-of-box campaigns. As I said, Bajaj gave me the platform to do a lot of things which was unconventional. But I think the biggest takeaway for me was Pulsar Dare Venture. Because when we came with the idea was very vague, We didn't know we want to convert it into a reality TV show. Do we really want to do an engagement campaign 10 years, 12 years back, where nobody else was doing a, bike ride? We are going a little out of the way to engage with our customers. But having been a company which always thought about doing things differently, it became a reality TV show. But over the period of time, it became one of the global case studies for Bajaj also on the international level, because it was able to contribute in establishing Pulsar NS200. It was not just a reality TV show where we were engaging with our customers and bringing the bike to the top of the mind, but it was able to create that interaction with something completely different as a naked bike segment, which was completely new at that point, and the acceptance level was much lesser, So over the period of time, it did have an impact on sales also and the market share also, and it became a global case study also for Bajaj itself. So they tried to replicate the model as well, which they could not, because I think Pulsar Dare Venture was more of passion-driven project, more of, the closeness to that project itself was very big, For me, even now, irrespective of the fact whether I work with 4-wheelers, 2-wheelers, or whatever brands I work with, when you look back, you should feel proud about something you've done, right? That pride comes from that event. I would never forget the first time I saw the bikes in one line with the headlights on and the goosebumps I got. That is one first experience which you carry throughout your life, right? So that is one experience which was not just rewarding, but in long run satisfaction pani euta level samba dira sa ke tele. Longer period, yes, automobile. Shorter FMCG, but FMCG is very close to my heart because I love that fast culture of FMCG. Worked in GB for 3 years. Then CG was the entire portfolio, so again FMCG was there for a year. See, automobile industry customers are a little different from FMCG. That's something we all know. There's a lot of, rational buying in automobile because you're spending a lot of money there. So you do a lot of thought process, you think twice, you take opinion from peer group, you check the visibility in the market, you do a hell lot of research. But the fact being that, that's the mass that we are looking at. But we do have impulse buying in automobile as well. Because the clear-cut example is, sometimes when a brand which is completely unknown comes to this market, even that brand sees a couple of months of surge in sales, The initial surge is always there. So automobile ko customer ekdam mixed basket, okay? Mixed basket कसरी भने कसैले एकदमै टेक्निकलिटी बुझ्न खोज्छ, एकदम फिचर ड्रिभन हुन्छ, 10 वटा रिसर्च गरेर आएको हुन्छ, सेल्सको मान्छेले उलाई कन्भिन्स गर्न सकेन भने दे लुज इट. They completely lose the customer and the customer moves out, right? If we cannot resonate with them in our communications, then they're not interested in our brand. But at the same time, there are other people who are solely driven by the necessity factor and the fact that this market is remittance driven, where family बाहिर छ, necessity छ मलाई एउटा automobile को पैसा आइराको छ, जुन चाहिँ मैले दुई जनाको मुखबाट सुने मैले गएर किने. त्यो कस्टमर पनि छ के. सो हामीले सोच्दाखेरि हामीले मिक्स बास्केटलाई नै सोच्नु पर्ने हुन्छ. यस, फीचर्स मेक यू स्ट्यान्ड आउट, यू हेभ टु टक टेक्नोलोजी, बट वी हेभ टु अल्सो सिम्प्लिफाई इट इन टर्म्स अफ कम्युनिकेसन सो द्याट दोज हु डोन्ट अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड इट क्यान अल्सो रेजोनेट विथ द्याट communication, So we have to think on a broader picture. With automobile, whenever we think of strategy, we can't just think, generally कस्तो हुन्छ नि काठमाडौँलाई नेपाल बुझ्ने मिस्टेक गरिन्छ कि काठमाडौँमा मान्छे फिचर ड्रिभन छ होला हैन, पोखरा, काठमाडौँ, धरान, इटहरी, विराटनगर जस्तो सिटिजमा छ होला हैन, तर हामीले त अरूलाई पनि बेच्नु छ नि. सो स्ट्राटेजी हामीले 360 मै बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ के. See, when I started my career, it was a traditional marketing, I would say, right? Traditional marketing where print was the predominant factor. Negotiation print ko गर्ने बेलामा महाभारत हुन्थ्यो हैन, and then creative agencies were print centric, print driven. Radio थियो, television थियो, events थियो, to certain extent event गरिन्थ्यो, be a company थियो, event गर्नै पर्थ्यो हैन. But moving forward over the years, what I've seen is integration has become the key. Okay? I would not say print is dying. I think that is a wrong thought process. Print still gives that credibility. तर पहिला यदि 80% print ले लान्थ्यो भने आजको दिनमा 20% मात्र print छ. As a matter of fact, I would say only 10% छ. तर having said that, integration is a must for any marketer or any media at this point, because print भोलि survive गर्ने हो भने print ले पनि integration गर्न सिक्नै पर्छ. Digital सित integrate हुनै पर्यो, BTL activations मा integrate हुनै पर्यो, किनभने as a brand हामी ground level मा गएनौं भने हामीले customer सित एउटा build up गर्न सक्दैनौं के. So त्यो बेला यदि it was very ATL centric, now it is very digital and BTL centric. Digital has taken the forefront, and no doubt it has taken the forefront because I know the results. No, I have parameters where I can judge मैले खर्च गरेको पैसाको return के आइरा छ. Am I going right or am I going wrong? I can do the course correction, right? त्यो flexibility थिएन त्यति बेला हैन. At the same time, BTL मा हामी ground level मा गइरा छौं. We are doing massive activities, we are doing a lot of activation. Every brand is doing that, right? So things have actually changed completely. Also, I would think the reason this has happened is, customer behavior has changed. The biggest disruptor, I would say, technological advancement is a disruptor which happens after the necessity arises, right? The necessity is consumer behavior has changed. कुनै जमानामा यो सेलर सेन्ट्रिक मार्केट थियो भने आजको दिनमा बायर सेन्ट्रिक मार्केट छ. कुनै जमानामा हामीले प्रोडक्टलाई प्रमोट गरे पुग्थ्यो भने आज हामीले बायरको मेन्टालिटी इन डेप्थ बुझ्नुपर्छ. वी हैव टु गो टु द माइक्रो लेभल टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड right from their demographic thought, segmentation to how they think, how they perceive, what would resonate with them, what would touch them, and how we should go forward, right? So, त्यो एउटा नै major disruptor base, okay? That will become a change in future also because we have to adapt as per our customers. Product बेच्ने customer लाई हो, and technology is adapting in the same manner. So I would say that AI, many people say AI is a disruptor. But AI is adapting to the necessity of the customer. The first disruptor is the consumer behavior, which is ever changing and is very volatile at this point. त्यसको behalf, yes, technologically AI will be one of the biggest changers, game changers for us. And maybe today it's AI, tomorrow something else will come. But that's a technological aspect of it, which we have to adapt to move forward. I call it a bittersweet experience, and I would be very straightforward on this aspect. As I said, I'm very outspoken about things. I worked with agencies who are amazingly professional. You know, when they come to us, they come with a proper homework that even you feel as a brand person that, okay, they have a very good insight into the brand. I am entrusting my brand in a very safe hands, you know. But then I have had experience with the agencies who've been there, who become dinosaurs in the market now, you know, years after years of experience, but they have not evolved. They have not evolved, they have not accepted the changing market dynamics, they have not accepted that research is the key to moving forward. And they would come into the rooms and they would rather cross-question us as the clients that how's your campaign doing, or how are you, you know, perceiving your customer. Whereas agency and client relationship is very, you know, two-way process where you work as a team to take the brand forward. It's not who's right and who's wrong. It's about you are our eyes and ears to the market insight. As a marketing person, we may or may not be able to be out and about in the market at all times because a lot of strategical thinking has to happen at the background as well, right? Hamro agencies le ta hamrai tyo facilitate garne hunta. They have to be out and about, they have to get us the insights, they have to come with the gaps and the course correction. So I have had agencies who have been amazingly good with that, but I have had agencies on the other side as well. And then this ever changing, never changing, you know, war of agency and clients where everybody thinks that you are at the two corners of the room. They want to become two different companies fighting. You know, client le yesto garyo, client le testo garyo, agency le yesto garyo, agency le testo garyo. End of the day, your motive is to sell the brand. It's not about agency le ke garyo or client le ke garyo. It's about what both of us can do together to, you know, make the brand more strong. So, two thought process jabasamba market ma change hundaina ni, the relationship will always remain bittersweet. Okay? I have always felt, you know, 15 years, I know it's much lesser compared to other marketeers in the market, but 15 years, 13 years has been in a lead role where I have been guiding agencies as well. I have seen people who worked under me as CSEs becoming brand managers and marketing managers, you know. A lot of grooming has gone in there. Some people really evolved out of it, right? That's because they were able to work as a team. I would love people who can work as a team. I would love people who don't come and, you know, work in the basis of hierarchy. Because मेरो team ma मेरो brand manager lai pani त्यति नै liberty छ to come up with the opinions. My brand officer has as much liberty to come to me. My digital manager has as much liberty to come and tell me that, ma'am, this is not how you do it. This is how you do it. Because we all are learning every day. Unless everybody is allowed to speak, sometimes you don't come up with the right approach to things, you know. I might not be correct always. Most of the time, I might not even know what is happening because things are changing too fast. त्यो पेसमा हामी चेन्ज हुन सकिरा हुँदैन नि त, जबकि हाम्रो टिम्सले छिटो रिसिभ गरिरा हुन्छ त्यो कुरालाई. सो उनीहरूसित इन्साइट्स लिनु इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट. इट्स सेम विथ द एजेन्सीज. दे शुड बी कन्स्ट्रक्टिभली कमिङ एन्ड सेइङ द्याट लेट्स डु समथिङ लाइक दिस, लेट्स मुभ फरवर्ड लाइक दिस, रादर देन यो गरेको भए हुन्थ्यो, त्यो गरेको भए हुन्थ्यो. गर्ने त हो, मिलेर गर्ने हो, सो मिलेर गरौँ न. एन्ड देन अगेन द फ्याक्टर द्याट, यु नो, रुल आउट गर्ने बानी हुन्छ कि टिममा म्यानेजर भन्दा मुनिको मान्छेले डिल गरिरहेछ भने उनीहरूलाई नट हेरिदिने बानी हुन्छ क्या एट टाइम्स, विच आई फाइन्ड इज भेरी डिस्ट्रक्टिभ इन इट्स ओन वे. वर्क कल्चर नै अलिकति डिफिकल्ट हुन्छ कि बिकज दे अल्सो हेभ द माइन्ड, दे आर नट रोबोट्स. They have the mind, and sometimes they come up with amazing ideas which we become tunnel-headed because we are working on a different tangent altogether, you know. We are working on policies, we are working on budgets, we are working on strategies. I mean, ekdam tunnel-headed bhayera sochira hunchau ke. Sometime a fresh breath of air is really good, right? So, त्यो collaborations abasamba agencies ra clients ma hudaina ni. A mutual respect, acceptance of what the client is saying, acceptance of what the agency is saying. If a person is saying, I don't agree with the idea, with the logical backing, drop it there and move forward with the fresh thought process. Rigidity chhodnu parcha duitai side le. Tyo jabasamba hudaina, things will not change. It will always be a war between client and agency, you know. See, I think the biggest thing that needs to change is the understanding of marketing. Marketing is paving the future. Marketing is not, it's not like you have a magic wand or you don't have Aladdin ko genie hundaina ke. Aajko bholi change aundaina marketing le. It's a long process. If I make it in terms of example, there are people who think that as a campaign launch bhayo bholi result aउँछ, or I've seen people thinking that एउटा होर्डिङ बोर्ड राखिदिँदैमा अथवा एउटा ब्रान्डिङ गरिदिँदैमा भोलिदेखि त सेल्समा स्पाइक आउँछ. द्याट्स नट हाउ थिङ्स ह्यापन. तपाईँले कुनै बच्चालाई स्कुलमा एडमिट गर्ने बित्तिकै भोलि एडमिसन भएको भोलिपल्ट नै हिल स्टार्ट सपोर्टिङ हिज पेरेन्ट्स, हिल स्टार्ट अर्निङ, हिल बिकम मच्योर्ड इन्डिभिजुअल भनेर त सोच्न मिल्दैन नि. ब्रान्ड्स आर लाइक बेबिज, यु हेभ टु नर्चर देम. When you are spending in advertising or spending in branding or spending in overall 360 marketing, you are actually paving for your future, the future of the brand, which you will be able to reap after a certain time, त्यो इन्भेस्टमेन्ट गर्न सक्नुपर्छ के मान्छेले. त्यो थट प्रोसेस चेन्ज हुनुपर्ने जरुरी भइसक्यो कि. मार्केटिङ नै बुझ्दैन धेरैजनाले जस्तो लाग्छ कि मलाई. देन देयर इज दिस भेरी थिन लाइन वेयर people don't realize that marketeers are those who have to actually take the bigger picture in mind, and they have stakes. They have stakes in terms of त्यो ब्रान्ड को मार्केट शेयर बढाउनु छ, त्यो ब्रान्ड को माइन्ड शेयर बढाउनु छ. त्यो मार्केटियरले गर्ने काम हो. ब्रान्डिङ गरिदिँदैमा मार्केटियर भइदैन के. मार्केटियरहरूलाई you have to have a bigger picture in mind where you are thinking future, you are thinking present, you are thinking 360. The pros, cons, the environmental factor, the economic factor, how it is today, how it is going to happen tomorrow has to be taken into account, right? So त्यो bigger picture जबसम्म मान्छेले बुझ्दैन नि, it'll always be the same pain when marketing भने खर्च हो भन्ने thought process हुन्छ के.
So मान्छे भनिरहेको, are you talking about the top management or?
No, I've seen top management who are amazingly good in marketing as well. I've seen top management who are anti-marketing as well. As I said, I have a mixed experience. I have seen the struggle of making the top management understand that you have to spend. You cannot cut down on marketing. But at the same time, I would say I've had a good fortune to work with top management as an individuals who are amazingly creative and who want to go out and beyond and create a difference. They don't mind doing unconventional things. Right? So you cannot say one individual to another individual, but as a whole experience, majority in Nepal still thinks हामीले मार्केटिङमा गरेको खर्च हो भनेर सोच्छ कि. त्यो खर्चको रिटर्न लङ टर्ममा आउँछ. इट्स लाइक अ फिक्स्ड डिपोजिट अकाउन्ट भनेर सोच्दैन कि मान्छेले. त्यो सोच जुन दिन चेन्ज हुन्छ नि, लाइफ विल बिकम मच इजियर फर एनी मार्केटियर, ट्रस्ट मी. बिकज वी स्ट्रगल मोर अन मेकिङ पिपल अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द थिङ रादर देन डेलिभरिङ आवर वर्क. बुझाउँदै आधी टाइम निस्किन्छ क्या हाम्रो. So त्यो एउटा sort out भयो भने, trust me, our life will become much more easier and things will become much more, clearer and beautiful, I would say.
So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. That's all for today.
Thank you.